right. Good afternoon, Rocky. How are
Good
you today?
afternoon. Good afternoon, Rush. I'm doing good.
Great, great. Thank you. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. For my first question, Rocky, can you please tell me something about yourself?
Hey, well, first of all, my name is Rocky. I'm from the Philippines. I have been in the virtual world, not really virtual world, but virtual business for about 2 years. I started off in 2013, and then I left the online world in 2015. I went back to the corporate world. It was because I think I still needed time for me to really know what my focus in life would be. Moving forward or fast forward 5 years after 2015, I decided to take the leap of faith and join the online community again, the freelancing world. So aside from that, I am a person who is passionate about learning. So if there are I mean, if I have my free time, I make sure or I see to it that I upskill myself. I watch tutorials in order for me to grow not only personally but as well as professionally. Also, I am a person who has a high regard in terms of integrity, which I know is a must whenever we're working, not only in a corporate world, but also it is most especially important when we're working remotely or virtually, since your client or your boss doesn't really know what you're doing behind the scenes. So having that integrity while you're working is really a plus in terms of being a freelancer. That's it for me.
Wow, thank you so much. Very impressive. Now, how about your strengths? Can you please tell me more about it?
Well, for my strengths, I believe someone who has a high regard with integrity is something that is a strength that I have that I possess. Aside from that is my passion of helping people in terms of their businesses, because when they grow, I also grow. My goal here is to make sure that whenever I help an or a business or an entrepreneur, the goal here at the end of the day is to make their business successful.
Uh-huh. Thank you so much. Well, let's talk about your weaknesses. I hope you'll be comfortable to share some of your weaknesses to me.
Well, to be honest, my weakness I think would be I have a hard time in saying no, but I'm working on it. I also am a hard worker individual. There are times when I don't know how to stop or when to stop. So what I'm doing is I'm already setting my goals in terms of achieving a work-life balance, in terms of making sure that the tasks that are given to me are completed, but at the same time, I also enjoy some personal time.
All right. Thank you so much. Um, do you consider yourself as a lifelong learner? And if you're currently studying something at the moment, what is it?
Well, yes, I am a lifelong learner. I mentioned earlier that I have the passion for learning. Learning is an everyday course of life for me. If we're not learning, then it's the end of life. So basically, I believe that if you have that thirst for learning or that thirst of knowledge, you'd be successful. You'd be able to grow personally, and at the same time, you have the time to give back to your community, to give back to the people who taught you or gave you those lifelong experiences.
Or pay it forward, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Rocky. So you told me earlier that you've been a freelancer since 2013. Is that right?
Yeah, I started as a freelancer in 2013. However, I stopped in
Mm-hmm.
2015. But when I already knew what I really wanted in life, that's the time that I took the leap of faith again. This is in 2020 when I wanted to be a full-time freelancer. So that my experience as a freelancer in 2013 to 2015 strengthened my skills in terms of my online career. Um, if I would talk about my skills, I am adept in Microsoft Office. Aside from that, I also have skills in using Canva, and I also have background in Photoshop, Adobe Fireworks. Um, I'm learning about Adobe Premiere Pro in terms of video editing, which I know is a plus if you are looking for someone who has skills in terms of in terms of video editing and graphics. I have skills on those. Aside from that, I think one of the skills that I can definitely share with you is my skill in content creation or writing. I make sure that whenever I write, it comes from the heart, not just from the heart, but I also do my own research in making sure that the copy comes from your target market or comes from your people in order for the copy to resonate more with them.
All right. Thank you so much. But can you please tell me why did you decide to come back? Because you said you stopped from 2015 and then come back in 2020. What made you change your mind?
Well, the thing that changed my mind was going outside of my comfort zone. I was already in the corporate world for 10 years, a decade. And I think I'm already being comfortable with it. There's growth, yes. However, in terms of doing the thing that I really want, which is being more of learning about graphics, there's only a small chance of learning it when I was still in the BPO industry or the call center industry. Hence, I really decided to take chance again on going back as a freelancer. It is because I wanted to do what I really want. In order for me to grow as a person and in order for me to help out individuals better, it's better for me to have that passion, and that passion should not be left behind. Hence, I decided to go back to the freelancing world.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, how about in terms of number of clients? How many clients right now do you have? And what kind of work have you done for them?
Well, currently, I have one full time client. She's a naturopathic doctor. I work for her as an admin support, and at the same time, I also do her social media marketing. Not to brag, in a span of 1 month, I was able to increase her connections or followers in LinkedIn. When we started, she only had a total of 25 followers or 25 connections in LinkedIn. But now she already has about 534 or 535 roughly followers. That's just in a span of 1 month. It's basically making sure that the strategy is working by making sure that I do an outreach daily for LinkedIn. I follow people who are also in line with her work.
All right. Thank you so much, Rocky. Um, do you think you have a service specialization? And if you have any, why did you choose that niche?
If I would have, yes, I have a service specialization. It is social media marketing. Why did I choose social media marketing? It is because social media nowadays is already it's already being used by a lot of people of all ages. May it be the senior citizens, may it be the youth, or whatever. Whatever your target market is, you know that your consumers are in social media. Hence, I would like to pursue, or I pursued social media marketing in order for us to make sure that we utilize social media to its potential. Now, talking about specialty, as mentioned earlier, I do graphics, and at the same time, I also do content writing.
All right, thank you. Well, this project, Rocky, will require you to work for about 30 to 40 hours a week. You mentioned that you have a full-time job, so how are you planning on, making things, um, I mean, how are you planning on fixing your schedule to be able to accept the
Well,
job that if ever we will be offering?
since this would require a 40-hour work week, I would make sure that I manage my time well. If you would be open to a flexible working hour with you, then it would be beneficial for the both of us. since I will also make sure that the task would be given to me, would be giving to me are well thought of and are planned ahead of time in order for us to work well and to communicate with each other in a timely manner.
All right, great. Thank you so much. How about US time zone? You okay with it?
Yep, I do not have any issues working in your time zone.
All right. Thank you so much. Do you consider yourself as a team player? Can you work with teams or you prefer working alone?
Yes, I consider myself as a team player. In fact, when I was in the BPO industry or call center industry, I became a team leader. I handled a team which is comprised of 15 team members. I also like working alone. So it doesn't really matter if I would be working with a team or if I will be working alone.
Great. So, what is your long-term goal as a freelancer? You can talk about your specialization, your rates, and your clients.
Well, in terms of my long-term goal as a freelancer, my long-term goal, of course, is to give back or pay it forward, like what you've mentioned earlier. Give back to the community when I'm already successful, like making sure that I also share my learnings to to my fellow freelancers. In terms of my clients, my long-term goal for them is for their business to grow, and of course to sustain the potential customers and the current customers or leads that they already have.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, I assume that you've already read our job post. So,
Absolutely.
how do you understand it? Can you please tell me more about it?
Well, since you're looking for a social media manager, I firmly believe that having the skills of graphic design, video editing, content creation, copywriting are essential. And those responsibilities are really are really needed whenever you would be working with a social media manager or social media strategist who will be helping your business to grow and have a strong online presence.
All right. Thank you so much. How about negative feedback? How do you take them?
Negative feedback. Well, you know what? I am a person who loves feedback. For me, feedback is love. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. So whenever I receive negative feedback, I take them constructively and I make sure that I learn from them. I do not take it personally, but instead, what I do is I make sure that that feedback would give me learning and it would be a learning experience.
All right. Thank you so much. I think that would be all. You do have questions for me or about the project?
Well, one quick question for you though would be what would be your mode of communication?
Well, we normally send in a task through a task management tool like Trello. So we will be using that. I hope you're familiar.
Yeah,
And
perfect. I am familiar with Trello. During my stint with with digital jobs training that I attended, which was sponsored by the government, we were introduced with Trello, and I have a strong background with it. So Trello would be a perfect tool for us to use whenever we communicate or collaborate.
all right, thank you so much. Then I guess we're good. We'll just let you know 24 to 48 hours from now about the result of this interview.
All right, perfect. I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Rocky.
Thank you.